Hi guys, today I want to talk about the Mennik Thorn series by Patrick Samphire. You heard that correct? I'm going to talk about an entire series. The fourth and final book in the series comes out on November 3rd, just a few days after this episode is going to be published. The first book I read just a few months ago. It is called Shadow of a Dead God. The second book is The Nectar of the God, then Strange Cargo, and the fourth and final book is Legacy of a Hated God. I have read all four books now, and I'm going to tell you right now, I absolutely love the series. Let me tell you what it is and why you should buy it. The series follows Mennik Thorn, a second-rate mage who is the only freelance mage in the city of Agathos. It is in a secondary world with roughly Renaissance-era technology. There's going to be magic, there's going to be swords, and there will be muskets as well. The series is based on a really cool premise. We have a city that is basically the center of trade. It's one of the richest cities in the world. It's about 500,000 people, so it's a really big city for a Renaissance-era world. And we're going to be following the one and only freelance mage in all of Agathos. Now you might be wondering, are there not very many mages in the city? But you know what, it seems like a fairly good size of the population. There's at least several hundred mages in the city. But the rest of the mages are either less scrupulous or far more intelligent than Mennik Thorn, because they're all going to be following one of the three high mages or other rich people in the city who are able to provide them with both prestige and make them rich. Mennik Thorn, on the other hand, just can't quite play by the rules. So he is in constant danger of being evicted from his shoddy apartment or getting himself into trouble with one of the many random gods or more powerful mages of the city. Mennik grew up in the poorest part of the city called the Warrens, but was able to ascend for a short period of time and be far better off before his morals just got the best of him and he couldn't handle that cutthroat world of the high mages. And one of the absolute best parts of this series is just how alive the city of Agathos feels. The author, Patrick Samphire, does such a great job of making every part of the city feel alive and vibrant. The map is really easy to follow, and each of the districts in the city just felt really unique, and we get to spend a little bit of time in each one of those. The series takes place over a relatively short period of time, all in all, like maybe a year or two max between where book one starts and where book four ends. And each book only takes place over the course of about a week or two max. Like book one, I think, is like roughly 10 days. And every single book is absolutely action-packed. They are, I guess, what kind of like murder mystery whodunits. And the first book especially, the first book, Mennik Thorn, gets framed for a murder, and it looks like he is going to be captured and caught by the Ashguard, who are the foil to the high mages. They actually have they are able to rub the ashes of a dead god onto them, and it negates all magic while they're wearing those ashes. So this Ashguard doesn't take any involvement in the day-to-day mundane things in the city. But if the high mages or anybody like that decided they were going to, destroy the city or try to take over all the power for themselves, and that's where the Ashguard will stand in. Magic is super cool in this series. The city of Agathos is thousands of years old. There have been many gods that have died over the ages in there. And magic is actually described very, very clearly and multiple times throughout the series as coming from the rotting corpses of gods who have previously died. As their bodies decay, they give off a magical essence. And mages see this magic, they're able to interpret it in different ways. Mennik Thorn sees it as in colors, and he's able to manipulate the colors to use spells. Other mages might smell or taste magic, and they manipulate it that way. Some might see it as musical notes, and that's how they're going to be able to manipulate it. It's really cool that each mage can do things differently. Mennik's powers is funny because he's not very powerful, but he's really skilled because he can't use as much raw power as most other mages. He needs to be able to use his talents better than other mages do. The books are absolutely funny, as well as being action-packed. I laughed out loud multiple times in all 4 of the books. Book 1 is definitely the funniest, most lighthearted, and they get a little bit more serious as we go on, and by book 4, I really cared about the cast of characters. I really cared about Mennik. I cared about the city itself, and I cared about his family and friends, and you know, I really hoped that, that bad things didn't happen to them. I even cared about an entire district of the city when something bad happens to it, and Samphire just does such a great job of making you care about the characters and the city itself. And by the time the series was done, I was really sad. Reading those final few pages and the final few chapters, I kind of felt a sense of longing, and I absolutely wished that there were more books in the series. But like I said, if having a series be finished is important to you, then this is absolutely a series that I can recommend. The one other cool thing about this, about the books, is that that while there's a main plot, there's also lots of little like side quests almost that Mennik gets himself involved in, and it's just a really fun, engrossing storyline where, you know, like I said, it's action-packed. Mennik is going to get his rear end kicked more than once. Luckily for him, mages are able to like naturally heal just by sleeping, because if that wasn't possible, then there's no doubt that Mennik would spend most of this year in a coma with as much of a beating as he takes throughout these 4 books. I absolutely just can't recommend this series enough. If you are a fan of urban fantasies, or even just like a murder mystery series, then I think that you would really enjoy it. I feel like this has a really broad appeal for a lot of people. My father-in-law is someone who, he'll read the occasional fantasy, but for the most part he likes his murder mysteries. And this is the kind of series that I would even be able to recommend to him. But there is enough magic involved if you're a fantasy fan that you're going to enjoy it. There's plenty of supernatural creatures and all that fun stuff. Also, the last podcast that I did before I decided that I was going to switch over to mostly a video format was actually a podcast review of Legacy of a Dead God, the first book in this series. I will be releasing the podcast the same time I'm releasing this video, so my podcast is also called Nerd Book Review, and you'll be able to find a full review that's also spoiler-free of Legacy of the Dead God at the same time as this is available. Once again, I absolutely recommend the entire series. I had such a fun time reading it. I wish that there are more books coming out. Patrick, if you ever watch this video, I would not be upset if you decide that you're not actually finished with the series and put some more books out. But at least we know the main storyline is completed, and I once again recommend all 4 books. If you have read the other books, then this is a fitting finale, and it is available on November 3rd. Go out and buy it, and I hope you all enjoy yourselves. The next few reviews I put out will be reviews of more Spiffbo books, and by the time I am done with the next few, I will have 5 of the 10 done. I have the 3rd book just about finished reading, and we'll get that out as soon as possible. It might be another week or 2 before I get more reviews out after this. My son will have soccer for like 6 days straight. Followed up by next weekend, he'll have 4 games on Saturday and Sunday, and plenty of stuff in between. Then there will be a break, and I hope to start getting more things than aside from just book reviews. I hope to get both reviews and some fun stuff out as well. Maybe, you know, series that I love, series that I would recommend that you might not know about. We'll definitely put some more of these completed series that you should read out there as well. And I'm just looking forward to where I can go with the channel. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, like and subscribe. Thank you.